We're going to hear some Happy World from their debut album from 1984. Speaking of Happy World, one of my favorite people in the world who I've had a trippy relationship with for many years since we were both about 17 years old, if you can believe that. We are still friends to this day, and he's on the phone now, and I'm proud to have from the band Happy World, Shane Frink. What's up, bro?
Hey, what's up, buddy? How you doing, man?
I am so happy to have you on here, dude. We have had quite a history.
Yes, we have, bro. And it's nice to be on. It's called the Church of Rock. Is that right?
That's right. And you're up in a cabin you're up in a cabin somewhere in Colorado.
Yes, I am. I have lived here in the past, but I don't live here anymore. It's a 100-year-old cabin that's it's had a little upkeep since 1927, but anyways, that's where I am. Yeah, it's pretty as hell up here, but it's way up in the mountains. Yeah.
So we first
9,000 feet, snow peaked, above snow timberline. I mean, I can see that. Why I'm not at above timberline, but anyways, yes, that's where I am. I'll stop.
So back in the day, you guys, I was reading a magazine called Maximum Rock and Roll, which many of you listeners used to read, Flipside, and I saw a review, a review for Happy World, which was a cassette tape, and I thought, I love that name, Happy World, and the sarcastic and obnoxiousness of it didn't run past me. I thought it was a great name, and then
cool.
When I got the tape, I ended up going to see Happy World. Their album had come out and stuff, and they played in Champaign, Illinois, and it was just amazing because you guys had all these like little glow sticks in the room with all the lights turned off in this hall, and you had all these green like glow sticks that were fluorescent, and you guys played such a trippy mix of music, kind of reminding one of like, Sonic Youth meets the Butthole Surfers meets the Minutemen meets like Judas Priest. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, and actually, all those bands were bands that people in the band listened to. Like I'm a big Minutemen fan to this day, and Butthole Surfers, we saw them in New York City in like '85, like 5 different times before they had really broken out or were known anywhere. They were known. I mean, in those days, if you were into punk music, like the name Butthole Surfers sticks out, and their first record had already been out, the Alternative Tentacles, and anyways, yes, thank you. That's cool. That's a cool a way to put us as sounding.
Now you guys,
influenced by all this. Yeah.
For those that don't know, Happy World did release 3 full-length albums. The first debut, '84, the second one called Flowing Field, and then the third one, Chinatown. They all have their own particular beauty and magic to the music, and I just want you to know, Shane, those are classics. Those are some albums that when I lost my copies in the fires here, I had to get on Discogs and immediately replace all those.
That's super nice that you did, dude. And awesome. That's great. I'm glad that you dig it. I've gotten more reacquainted with all of our music more recently. I mean, I didn't always play Happy World, and plus I've been through ups and downs in my life. I didn't even always have record players or ways to play it. I didn't even have the copies of records. I just got a new copy of the first record like a year ago. I had not owned the first record, which is kind of my fave in ways. I don't know how long it was since I owned it.
Wow.
I mean, I think I owned it in 2000, I think. I don't know. I'm not positive of it. Pretty sure I did.
Well, you guys...
But anyway, yeah, cool.
You guys were basically made up, for the most part of the albums. You on guitar and vocals, Dave, Saul on the bass, and Gant, your brother Gant, on the drums. And do you know, where's Dave these days?
And they did backup vocals also.
Okay.
And we all sang certain parts and shit, but I was definitely the main vocalist. Dave worked for Dave Matthews through the 90s and 20 years ago for a while, a length of time making good money. I mean, I don't know about good money. He liked it. He was on the road a lot, and Happy World had broken up anyways by the time he had started. I did do a second version of Happy World where we did 5 songs that are some of my favorite songs, but were never released other than 50 copies on cassette. that are long gone. I mean, I have one, luckily, and they will be online at some point in the next 6 months.
Oh, dude, that's exciting.
We just got online, actually, for our records. All the records through 88 are online.
Dude, that is
the
unreleased Happy World. How killer. So Dave played with Dave Matthews. I did not know that.
No, he didn't play with him. He was the horn tech for Dave's horn section, and he had other jobs besides that were like important jobs because they toured. You know, they played fucking stadiums wherever Dave Matthews played.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I was never like a big Dave Matthews fan in those days. I mean, I didn't even really know Dave Matthews' music much in those days. I kind of investigated more when I found out Dave was working for him, like in 96 is when I found out, maybe 95. And that was the reason Dave didn't have time to do Happy World. And plus he was mad at me still because of the way Happy World ended.
Yeah.
His feelings were hurt. And it was, you know, it was just different times in those days. Like people, it was never said, I mean, I apologized and stuff, and I cleaned my act up. I was a hardcore dope-fiend alcoholic, and everything that went along with that affected all my loved ones and people that were close to me. Obviously, the band, we lived in the practice room, and we were always lived close to each other if we didn't live in the same room with each other. Dave, not always as much as Gant and I, living in the same rooms and stuff in the 80s once we moved from Denver to San Francisco. Anyways, but Dave is in Denver now, and he just had a heart operation. He's doing well. I just saw him a few weeks ago. We spent a couple of days in getting the records ready to put online. Some studio guy that we know from the old days was nice enough and helped us work it all out. And so that's where Dave is. Yeah, and we played. I was really burned that day. I didn't really feel like playing, but we played a couple songs. I mean, it didn't sound the greatest, but I mean, they liked it. They sounded good. I didn't sound so good as how I felt about the jam. But it was just a jam, you know.
When was the jam?
In July, the end of July.
Wow.
I just started up at the cabin, and then, I mean, it's an hour plus a drive, and Gant was here in town for that, and because he took my mom here to visit her sister, who lives up at this cabin, and so that's how that all happened.
So where's your brother Gant these days living?
Gant's living in Georgia now, which is his place is nice. He lives right by Atlanta. He doesn't live in Atlanta, but he's 30 minutes, I think, from a cool part of Atlanta that I saw. I mean, I'd been in Atlanta in 80. I can't remember when it was. 88, I think. 87 was the only other time I'd been in Atlanta. We made the mistake of touring the South in the 80s, which was a disaster. I wish we had not toured the South. I mean, we had toured the rest of the Midwest and Canada even, and New York City. We always got lucky with getting gigs there and other places on the East Coast. Anyways, the main point why I didn't dig touring the South was everywhere canceled other than Texas, Alabama, and Georgia.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was like 10 days of time of playing 3 gigs.
Yeah,
two of them with barely anybody in it.
Yeah, when you're in the road too, man, all that time down is really a bummer a lot of the times because you're living for the music, and if you're not doing it, it's just kind of like you're in a limbo, sort of.
Right. It was just hanging out and not doing much. Yeah, I mean, whatever. You had to do it where we were. I mean, you do. Yeah, you don't do much, right? If you don't have a place to play, or a place to play a gig or to practice at least. Yeah.
What do you do these days, Shane? I know right now you're like doing stuff helping your family out, but do you play music these days, bro, at all?
Yeah, I do. I don't play as much as I want to. not tried hard enough though to get to play a few open mics. I'm living in Oakland. I spend a lot of time in San Francisco, and I mean I go out to gigs occasionally in Northern Cal. I mean I love Northern Cal, but it's hard to live there. I mean I have roommates. It's kind of sucks for being 58 and living in the way I live. I mean, it's fine. I mean, it's not a miserable life, but it's not. Anyways, I don't play as much as I wish I did.
Yeah.
And yeah, doing a band again. I mean, Happy World might play again. We'll see. I mean, everyone kind of wants to, but we all live far away, and I'm poor. I'm more poor than my brother or Dave, meaning nothing. I'm just traveling is harder.
Well, you know what, bro? You know what? That immediately makes me think, and I know you'll think either like this idea or you'll think, who knows? But you could do GoFundMes these days for stuff like that, because do you know how many people out in this United States of America from the old days are still rocking like me and you, same age? I'm 58. You know, and just to get Happy World out on tour, even if it's super minimalistic, just to get you out for the fans or to record something, or I don't know. I think there's a possibility in that, Shane.
Dude, I'm way down with that. I'd love to see you guys. Yeah, it would kind of be me pulling that together, and we would need help, you know. I mean, it would be really helpful to get on I've read about a lot of people that get on those tours where there's multiple bands that play, you know, it's like a Lollapalooza, but way more bands than even Lollapalooza used to have, and it's not called that. I mean, and I'm not talking about one different thing. It's a lot of different things that do that. So I should try to put myself more out there.
Well, you know what, bro?
It's I got to learn how to do it. Yeah,
it's never too late, man. I'm telling you.
No, it is.
And the last time me and Shane got to hang out, I was living in Greeley, Colorado for a spell, and I would go to Denver to hang out with Shane and see the band, and we all became, you know, even closer. And then I remember one time, me and you, Shane, we went to this gay bar called Rock Island because we wanted to see Divine, the actress, and, you know, the, what is Divine called? You know, she's
an icon, man. Divine's an icon. She's not near as known. She's known by people our age, but I don't think the young people really know much about who Divine is. I mean, she was famous for Desperate Measures and Pink Flamingos. I don't even know if Desperate Measures was one of the movies. I don't know why that came to mind.
Yeah. Desperate Living.
Desperate Living, that's it. Desperate Living, right.
And so
she's famous for those, and not to mention, I mean, she's famous for those things alone. Some of those things where she was the first. She was the first of her kind.
Yeah, you know the movie Hairspray.
Right. So, is she in Hairspray? If she is, yeah.
Yeah. John Waters was such a great filmmaker and still is, but his early stuff that featured Divine pretty much starred in every one of his films, as you know. And me and Shane got to go see Divine doing this weird little 30-minute lip sync performance at this bar, and it was surreal because there was not very many people there. And I remember Divine looking right at us, and I was like, "Hey, Divine, can we get a picture with you?" And she's like, says, "Wait a minute," and then as soon as it's over, takes off out the back door and bolts. It was such a crazy experience.
Yeah, it was fun. That was cool, you know?
It was so cool, dude.
Yeah.
And then flash forward from 87 to 90, I drive from Illinois to San Francisco, and I visit you. We did some fun stuff together, ended up in the ocean and some of these weird woods and hanging out on the cars what are they called, cable cars?
Yeah, your cable cars, yeah.
I remember having such a ball with you guys, watching Happy World practice in your practice space, and then after a couple of years after that, we kind of lost touch.
Yeah. For a while we did, yeah. I went through a lot of different things. I went to a long-term rehab. There was like a therapeutic community type of rehab thing where it was like 3 years spent there of my life. Spent 3 years in county jail cells. Not at once, over a few years period. I was in jail for 3 years, different 6-month sentences. I was on probation, kept getting caught for the littlest things, so I would get 6 months, which was 4 months in jail. So, but it all added up to 3 years total. And so anyways, so that kind of cut out right there. That's 6+ years of my life that I'm not exactly in society in the first place.
Yeah.
Much less, I'm not on a phone or internet. I didn't have your number.
Yeah.
I didn't, to use my phone card in jail, which I doubt I would have had much money on it anyways.
Well, had I known that...
it was all good experiences for me, but it was probably saved my life. But it took time.
Well, Shane,
I had a second youth, though. I kind of had a second youth from 96 till 2004. Doing promotions and being in the band, The Boy Explodes. We toured some, not toured, we played California and LA and San Francisco, and it was a lot of fun. Did a lot of some fun stuff then.
Yeah, I remember hearing about The Boy Explodes. So why don't we do a part 2 sometime, Shane? Because I'd like to explore talking about your actual music and some of these songs on the Happy World albums and some of the Boy Explode stories.
Yeah, dude, and I will get you recordings of the new unreleased stuff, and you can have it so you can hear it and play it on the radio if you want.
Yeah.
And we'll figure that out. But dude, I'm sorry I didn't really get into much. We didn't get into enough crazy stuff, but I mean, it's all good. It's what it is. Stuff's available on fucking Apple Music now and stuff. I mean, I don't even, I can't get on it where I am anyways.
Right.
But all the records are available online, and they're not that expensive to buy on Discogs.
Yep, Happy World.
They're not exactly considered rare.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You got it, dude. Thank you very much. And to your listeners, thank you very much for hearing me say. I don't really know if I said anything much, but I doubt it was very fun what I said, but I doubt it sucked either. Thank you, Bloody. You are fucking awesome. You are fudging awesome, man. And you have a great night, okay, bro?
Yes, my friend. I look forward to a part 2. Shane Frink from Happy World. You rock, my brother, and I'll talk to you down the road here.
Okay, peace out to everyone. Bye-bye, bro.
Take care, dude.